Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am going to be talking about what it is like to be a full-time artist. I know that this video is going to help out aspiring artists or people who want to begin on this new journey. Before we hop right in, I would just like to say that it's not even been an year since I've been a full time artist. I started off in June 2024 and currently it's March. It has been a long time. What I have experienced will definitely be different from what you might experience. So let's just keep that in our mind before we begin with today's video. The first thing that I would like to talk about are the cons because I just want to leave the negative stuff behind. Just start with it and just leave it behind. So, the first con is that you do not have a routine. What I'm trying to say is that every day that you wake up, you need to know what you have to do. You need to feel purposeful because there's nobody to show up for, no obligation. You could just go back to sleep. You are only responsible for yourself. I think this just comes with being self employed. You are responsible for your own success, and you might get lazy and just make things worse for yourself. Another con that kind of ties up to my last point is that there is essentially nobody to tell you if you're doing right, if you're doing something wrong. You are your own judge, essentially, and you need to hold yourself accountable. And maybe sometimes you're just too harsh on yourself. You just never know. And kind of balancing it out is the trick here. But I think these are the few things that, in my opinion, were the most difficult in this journey and about money. For the first few months, you will essentially make no money. So, I think that is something you need to keep in mind, and through time, it just becomes easier, and you need to look at the long term and just not at the short term, just like instant rewards. That is it for the cons. Let's move on to the pros. The biggest pro for me, and it might contradict what I said previously, but when you see having no routine in a positive light, essentially all of the time you can do whatever you want. And I personally, as an artist, I think I hate monotony. I hate knowing that every day I need to wake up at this hour, then I need to do this, then I need to do that. It is just too much for me. I just don't like that. I don't enjoy that. I obviously plan what I need to do, but there isn't specific time frames that okay, at this hour of the day I need to do this. I know it helps people out, but for me personally, it's a big advantage of being an artist, being self-employed. If I'm feeling inspired at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., it doesn't matter. I can work at any time. So I think that's the beauty about it. Another thing I would like to say is that it is about productivity. Now, again, if I have worked hard for, say, 4 consecutive days and I have worked really hard, I could probably take a 3 day break. I can just do that very easily. Or if I'm feeling super productive and I want to work the entire week, I am essentially just adding to my own success. So there isn't a specific timeline that you need to follow, and you could actually use it to your advantage. Next up, I would like to speak about inspiration, how I come up with ideas, how probably it may seem like all the time I need to be inspired and ideas just popping out of my head and I'm painting all the time. But the reality of being a full-time artist is that you are not painting all of the time. As an artist who is growing, who is kind of reaching out to customers and building a business through social media and not exactly the gallery route, I have freedom, but I also have so many responsibilities. For example, I need to market myself and I need to post on YouTube, I need to edit videos, I need to post on Instagram, I need to constantly keep thinking about ideas. Apart from the art making process, I usually take my own references if that's in my reach. For example, if I am talking about my last painting, the forest scene, it wasn't exactly photographed and there wasn't a specific picture for me in mind that okay, the final outcome is going to look this way, and I just didn't have that assurity, and that was all right. But what I did to form that image was I photographed myself on my terrace with direct sunlight to kind of see the effect of the dress and my hair, and then I just randomly placed myself inside a forest. I looked at multiple forest images and I kind of came up with my own, and obviously I don't want every single detail to be accurate. I am not a camera, but at the same time I love working in realism, so I kind of had to strike that balance. Now, a lot of times people are asking me if I drew this or made this with imagination. I am a human. I do not have photorealistic memory, and yes, I definitely had a reference. And the only ethical part about that for me is to take your own references. I think that goes without saying, and it is extremely important. For example, my painting where I drew my back, my graphite drawing, which was extremely big, I photographed myself with my back so that I could capture every single detail that I wanted to. I didn't use somebody else's back. It was my own, it was my choice, it was my art. So yeah, I use references, not everything is imagination. I do not have photorealistic memory. I also want to share what my days look like as an artist. Now, I am not painting 100% of the time, like I mentioned earlier. I probably paint like 30 or like 40% of the time. Other times, I am filming, I am managing my business, I am editing my videos, I'm looking for video ideas. I also feel like sometimes I can just get in my head and I just tell myself that I'm not doing enough. However, if I see it practically, I am working 24/7. I'm not working 9 to 5. Probably sometimes I am editing videos till 12 a.m. and looking for inspiration till 1 a.m. or like just working very randomly at random times. So if you ask me how many hours I work in a week, I don't know. I'll be very honest with that, because I feel like with painting, it's for me, it's about feeling inspired. If I'm not feeling inspired, I just cannot do it, and if I force myself to do it, I know I'm gonna fail terribly. So I just wait for periods to be inspired, and luckily I have that kind of passion inside me. I also want to talk about my journey with Instagram right now, because it's been a few months since I have been trying to work to like grow my audience there. What personally helped me out was creating content that other people can relate to. It was a game changer. A lot of people found it interesting, a lot of people reposted stuff, a lot of people interacted with my stuff, and I think that's like the most important part. It is to create videos that are helping people out in any way, even if it is inspiring them, even if it is teaching them to do something, even if you can visually portray the struggles that artists go through. So for example, a lot of my videos are about what things I experience, and I think people find that quite relatable. Now, I wouldn't say I've grown immensely, but from what my account looked like previously, it has significantly grown. As long as YouTube is considered, I'm still figuring it out, but I am trying to keep it very authentic to my process, to my life as an artist. I'm not glorifying stuff. I'm not kind of making content that I do not identify with. So I'm still trying to keep it very organic, and let's see how it goes. But these were like a few of my learnings so far. Last few things before I end today's video, I would like to say that in these past few months, by being active on Instagram, you receive a lot of opportunities and you necessarily do not know if they are real or if people are trying to scam you. So I know it applies to life, but I would say read your emails very well. Check the sender's information. Sometimes they replace the letters with numbers, and you really need to look out for that. Just make sure that if you're responding or interacting to the person, that they are authentic. I know as an artist it is very easy to fall for it. You just want that validation and you want to look for the hope. So sometimes even my brain tries to trick me into believing that, oh, it is fine, even though I kind of know deep down that it is a scam. So I would just say be careful about that. It is very, very important. Another thing is like a small recommendation. It is about having clients and people inquiring about commissions or like whatever you're selling paintings. I would say do not do not lower your prices for someone. If you know that you deserve to be paid that X amount, do not reduce your prices. Stick to your price because you know how much effort it goes into making a single painting and how much money, time, effort, everything. It is just about everything, and I think sticking to your prices is extremely important. Being on the internet, a lot of people have access to you, and sometimes, not always, sometimes they try to make you feel like, oh my god, this for this much, it's not worth it. But you know what you're worth, and I think you need to kind of stick to that. These were a few of my learnings. I hope they helped you out in any way. I am open to questions. You can comment down below any question that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and see you guys in the next one.